Hey there, I am Dr. Marcella Wilson from marcellawilson.com and welcome to my video where today I'm going to be showing you how to write your very first blog post in a WordPress blog. Now hopefully you should have already set up your WordPress blog. If you haven't done so already, below, you can find directions on how to set up your WordPress blog using Bluehost. But if you're already set up your blog and you're ready to go, let's get started. Okay, this is the dashboard. So when you log into WordPress, it's going to automatically bring you to the dashboard. Now this is the back end of your blog. This is where you're going to do all of your work. You can create posts, create pages, check your comments. You can check the media, which is the images and the videos that you have. You can upload plugins, change things to the themes. You can change settings, do things with your tools. So the dashboard is kind of command central to your blog. It's the back end of the blog. The front end of the blog is what the world sees. This is the front end of the blog. So to make any changes, this is my blog, marcellawilson.com. So this is the front end. But to make any changes, you want to do that through the back end, which is the jump off place is the dashboard. But today, we are going to write our very first blog post. So in order to do that, we're going to go over here where it says posts. And if you notice, you can either look at all of the posts that you've created. Now I'm assuming that you haven't created any posts yet. So you want to go down to add new and just click that. Once you click that, a page will pop up and it will allow you to create your very first blog post. So here's what it looks like. Now, you know you can create a page here because it says add new post. There are some messages there for me. Now also I want to let you know that on your blog post you probably won't have these purple tabs here. That is custom to the theme that I have uploaded to my blog. It's called Elegant Themes by Divi. So you're not going to see that unless you've uploaded that theme to your blog. If you want to know more about that theme, because I love it, it's the theme that I have on my blog. You can totally customize your blog to what you want. If you want to learn more about that theme, you can look below. I have some information about it, but I'm just saying you won't see that. So let's just go over the different parts on this page and then we'll start to write our blog post. Okay, so right here, this text bar is where you're going to write the title of your blog post. And I just want to add a little tip here that you should write blog post titles that have keywords in it. So lots of people go on Google and they search for information. So whatever you're writing about, use keywords in the blog post title so that people searching on Google can find your content quickly and easily. Okay, that's a little tip that I just threw in there. Okay, so right here it says add media. So add media is where you add your images and videos and things like that. We'll get into that more in a minute. Here, right here is all of kind of the text and formatting options. Right here, this large box is your text box. And to the right, you have your publish box, which I will talk about a little bit later. Your format box, your categories box, and your tags box, and also your featured image box. So I'm going to get into all of that in a bit. But right now, let's get started writing. So let's write our first blog post. So I'm going to type the title here, my very first blog post. Okay, simple enough. Then I'm going to scroll down in this text box, which contains the body of the text. So here's where you want to type. Now, in general, a blog post should be at least 300 words. I'm not going to write 300 words. I'm just going to write hi. Just write something short and sweet so I can demonstrate how it works. All right, so that's all I'm going to write. Now, as I said before, up here, you can modify your text and format the page. I'm just going to type something else right there. Okay, so I can highlight this and make the text bigger. It can be a heading. And I can change this back to paragraph. I can center it. I can change the text color. I can underline my name. So just like I can bold it. So just like a regular, word processing document, you can, format your text. You can add links. I'm just going to put my website. So you can do all of that right here. So I encourage you to play around with the options that are available to format your text. Now, let's go to the Add Media section. So here's where you can add videos and images. So I want to stress that before you add an image or a video, you want to put the cursor where you want it to show up. So if I put my cursor here, the image or video will show up after here, after the cursor. So I want the image to show up at the top of my blog post. So I'm going to put my cursor right at the top. So you click on the Add Media button, and it's going to give you three options. You can either add images from your media library. So these are things that you've already uploaded on your blog. So if you notice, you see a lot of images that are on my blog. So these are my blog images that I've already uploaded. They're on my blog posts. If you can look at my blog posts here, you can see them. So these are the images that are already on my blog. You can upload files straight from your computer, or you can use stock photos. That is a very, very nice feature. So I do want to say that it's important to use images that you have permission to use. So I don't want you or anyone else stealing photos or using photos that you're not allowed to use. So that is very, very important. So if they offer stock photos, that's amazing. So I'm not going to upload a file today. I will use a stock photo. And I'm just going to scroll down and pick one that I like. I kind of like this one. Because they're kind of working on, looks like they're working on a blog. So I'm going to choose that one. As soon as I hit that, here we go. It's going to take me to a page that says insert into posts. I want to do that. If I didn't want it, if I made a mistake, I could delete it permanently, because you see here, now it's in my media library. If this was a mistake, if I picked the wrong photo, I can delete it. I want to use it, so I'll say, hey, insert into the post, and voila, there it is. Okay, now if I wanted to edit this picture, all I do is click on the image, and it'll give me some options for, alignment. Or I could click the little pencil, which allows me to, add caption, alternative text. I can change the size. I can link it. I can, if someone clicks on the image, it can actually link to another page. So there are all sorts of options that you can do. If you choose to make changes, just click update and it will show in the blog post. Now, as we're writing our blog, or if we're done, we can see what it looks like before we publish it. So over here in the publish box, there's a tab called preview. Now I could just click preview and it would show it to me. But what I like to do is I like to right click on it and click open in new tab. That way I have the front end open and the back end open at the same time. So here we go. It's going to pull up, it's going to generate a preview of the blog post. And here it is. It says my very first blog post. There's the image and there's my text. So if it looks good to you, I could say to myself, oh, I can center the title. That would look a little better. So I'm going to highlight that, center it. When I've made any changes, what you want to do is click Save Draft. Okay, any changes you make, and if you haven't published yet, you want to hit Save Draft. Okay, so I want to save draft. And since I've already got the preview open, I don't have to click preview again. I can just go back over to the front end preview and just refresh the page, and it should show my latest change, which it does. There it is. Now the title is centered. So when I'm happy with it, which I am, I can go on to other things that are important. So let's look at the format box. Now the format box is just you telling WordPress what type of blog post it is. Here are the different types you can have. Right now we'll just leave it as standard. And let's look at the categories box. Category box is very important. It is the categories that are on your blog. So I have my website talks about blogging and other things as well, but I have different categories that I talk about. I talk about blogging in general. I talk about blogging for beginners, blogging for money, things like that. So every time I write a blog post, I assign that blog post a different category. So if someone goes to my blog and they want to search about everything for beginning bloggers, they could type in blogging for beginners. You click enter, and all the blog posts where I've categorized as blogging for beginners will pop up. Okay, so it's very important that you categorize your blog to keep it organized, and when you write your new blog post, you assign it a category. Okay, so for this one, since we're writing a new blog post, it sounds like something for beginners, and I also want to put it in the general blogging category. All right, so let's move on to tags. Tags is what Google uses to, let me go back. I said before in the blog post title that you want to put keywords because people are always searching on Google for different topics. So this is a blog post about blogging. So I want to put keywords on my blog post in the blog title about blogging so I could be found easily on Google. So tags are just keywords so you could be easily found on Google. Okay? That's it. Keywords that so you can be easily found on Google. So this blog post can be easily found on Google. So I want to put in blog you know, blogging, blogging for beginners. Now, they don't have to be your categories. They can be your categories, but they can be anything that any keywords or phrases that you think people would enter into Google when they're searching for your blog post topic. Then you want to click add when you're done. All right, now let's scroll down to featured image. So featured image, I'm actually going to show you after we publish it. It'll have more of an effect. But let's go to publish, the publish box. Okay, so if we click Save Draft, it's just going to save the draft. It's not going to publish it. So if you go to my blog, you will not see or be able to access the blog post that we just wrote. So let me go to my section, latest blog post. You're not going to see that here at all because I haven't published it yet. It's just a draft. Okay? When you are ready to publish, you've got some options. You can publish it immediately, like I can publish it right now. If I wanted to do that, you just click the publish button and it will show up here. Right, so let's do that. Publish. And voila! After it finishes, it's gonna take a few seconds. It's taking more than a few seconds. But when that is done, if we go back to the front end of my blog and I refresh the screen and I go down to my latest blog post section, you'll see it. It's there. Haha. So cute, right? There it is. But it doesn't have the image there. I did not set my featured image, right? So we're going to go back and do that. All right, so we're going to go back to the back end and we're going to scroll down to the box, featured image, and we're going to click set featured image. And we're going to pick on, it's going to bring us back to the option to either use a picture from my media library, stock photos, or I can upload a file. I'm just going to use the same image that's in the blog post and click the blue button that says set featured image. And I'm going to scroll down. There it is. It looks good. I'm going to click update because now that it's published, I can't save the draft because it's not a draft anymore. It's actually published. If I want to make changes, you click the update button. All right. Now let's check it. Here's the front end of my blog post again. Right. I'm going to refresh it and hopefully the image is going to pop up. I'm going to hit the refresh. It's going to take a second to load. Bam! There it is. Looks pretty cool, right? If I click on it, it's going to take me to my blog post. There it is. Here's a link. And it looks pretty good. So like I said, if you go back to the back end, if you want to make any changes to it, you can. And just hit the update button when you're done. But what if you look at it and you say, you know what? I published this by accident. This was a mistake. No worries. You just go back over here to published and click edit. And you can actually change the date. Say I wanted to publish this tomorrow at 8 a.m. Just change the date and the time. Hit OK. Now you notice it says schedule for and it gives you the date and time you put in. Then you want to click the blue button. And this is actually going to schedule the future. I write like 4 or 5 posts at a time, like a month or two worth of posts at one time. Then I automatically schedule them and just let them post. Okay, so once we've done that, we see the status has changed from published but to scheduled, and here's when it's scheduled for. If we go back to the front end, if we click the home button, I'm not going to be able to access that blog post because now it's scheduled for another time. And see, you don't see it anymore. Okay? So, now that it's scheduled, let's go take a look at something else that will be helpful. Let's go back to the post section on the left of the dashboard. We want to go back to the post section. Now, if you from here and from here as well, if you wanted to create a new post, you can create add new and it will bring up a new page for you to create a new post. We don't want to do that, but you can do that here as well. Here you can look at all of your categories. You can look at all the tags that you've used. And you may not be able to see this. I've uploaded an editorial calendar that lets me look at a calendar version of all of my scheduled posts. But let's look at all posts. All posts is really helpful, and I work from the all posts section as well. And all posts is kind of what it says. It's going to show you all of the posts that you've written, you scheduled, and here. So if you take a look, these are all of my blog posts. I've been blogging for a while, so I have a lot of blog posts. So here we go. Here's the blog post we just wrote, and it says scheduled. I have the author, which is me. It has the categories we set up for this blog post, the tags, and when it's scheduled for. The really, really cool thing about working from all posts is that you can make bulk edits to lots of blog posts, or you can make changes just to one blog post. If you hover over it, you'll see edit, quick edit, trash, and preview pop up. So preview, if you right click it, open a new tab, it's going to show you a preview of the blog post. That's another way you can look at it. Trash will delete it. But I love quick edit. Let's click on that. Quick edit lets you make changes to the blog post. Like you can change the title, you can change the date that it's going to be published. If you have more than one person writing for your blog, you can change the author. You can password protect your blog post. You can add, change, remove categories. Same with tags. You can change the status to schedule, draft, publish, whatever. Then when you're done, say I want to change the date to the 18th. Then I would just click update and it will change that blog post from being published from the 17th until the 18th. And if you look right here, you can see the changes have been made to be scheduled on the 18th, whereas before it was the 17th. So you can make changes to the blog. Everything can be changed in quick edit except the blog post itself. So if you want to do that, change the actual blog post, the text or the image or the video, you want to click edit and it will take you to the page where we can actually edit the text and the image itself. And there it is. It's taking a minute to load. If you're fine with it, you can just go back to all posts and or work on another blog post or whatever it is that you've done. Okay, so I am just going to do another quick edit where I'm just going to publish it. Gonna change it back to today's date. Push is published. Update it. Give it a second to do that. We're gonna go back to my blog. And there it is. Your very first blog post. And that's how you do it. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you need any more information or help about blogging, just head over to marcellawilson.com. I've got so much information there for you. Alright, if you like this video, please like it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm always posting really cool, fun videos for you. Alright, I'm out of here. I'll talk to you later. Bye.